Hey everybody, this is Rydo and I am back. And let's just address it right up front. I must apologize. We're going back to the very first days of apologizing for recordings. I have to apologize for the last 3 episodes. The whole, this could be the end, although I will put it as the title, and at this point you will have seen as the title, not really the end, part 1, part 2, part 3. Apparently, YouTube is at least in this one circumstance is susceptible to going insane. The alleged copyright violation, the copyright strike that showed up on my channel. I went to bed after recording those 3 episodes. I woke up, it was gone. Not that I disputed it, not that I got in contact with anybody. It was just gone, disappeared, no trace that it had ever existed. And I guess I should have figured that when I couldn't even file a dispute because their servers were having trouble. I imagine what happened is somebody else did something on somebody else's account and it got applied to mine because of their servers being messed up. And once they fixed it, it went away. So I have learned my lesson now. Any trouble with YouTube is not going to be talked about on any recordings because, I mean, it will just be the exact same thing over and over again, obviously. Obviously, this is going to happen again. Obviously, it's just something that I should deal with by myself and not bring up. I mean, there's really no call to action I can make. I can't have you start a letter writing campaign or anything. It won't get to the eyes that need to see it any better than any letter I could send. So we're done with that. No more this could be the end stuff. We know what we're doing. We know we have permission to do what we're doing. So I shouldn't have even been that upset or worried about it, but I guess I was. Now, let's get back to the game. Um, Fortunately, that whole incident only happened in Hearthstone, so I won't even mention it on any of my other channels at all. Uh, on my other shows. They won't even get a mention of it because I just didn't happen to record that day. Alright, now to the game. I could get rid of this Druid and Rogue. We have win 5 games with Priest or Warlock, and we have win 5 games with Druid and Rogue. I think I have to get rid of Druid and Rogue. 10 games wins out of 15 is just too high. Alright, so let's get rid of it, see what we got. Not much better. Win 5 games with Hunter and Mage. Okay, so what have we been doing off air? Off air, I have been, as part of that scare, I've decided to upload every video I have it scheduled far in the future, and in the hopes that if I could lost access to my account, they would still get the videos out. Now, if they were smart, they wouldn't do that. If some kind of copyright strike came about, somebody shouldn't be able to schedule a year in advance videos to continually be released each day, and it still do that. But as we've just proven, sometimes their servers get messed up, and it doesn't seem like that's really the case. But either way, I've been doing tons of uploading, and while I was uploading, I was working on Druid. So I went a couple levels up on Druid. Nothing really that special. Got a couple more gold. As the days go by, I have to dance around the quests. So first quest I had was Priest or Warlock, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna play any games on Priest or Warlock. So I just picked Druid because he was the lowest at that point and kept on working on him. So I may continue to do that, particularly when I'm uploading. Uploading is too long a process. I am not doing it right, I think. Okay, Mage, Druid, or Warrior are our arena options. And Priest or Warlock are the two we have. So the only thing we have that matches is Mage. So we're doing the Mage arena run.
Will prevail.
And I'm putting up videos of the Nixramas revisit, and boy am I down on it. Boy am I even a little unfair. I feel like I was a little unfair on it to it since it was the first, but I don't think I was that unfair. But half of the titles you will see are like disappointing and similar things, similar down titles. But I mean, people were not happy. To my recollection, people were not happy with Nexramus when it came out either. Uh, there is, however, I've found one thing we can do with Nexramus, a little bit of a sub goal. If I get everything up to 30, which is by far much more important. If I get not 30, what am I talking about? If I get everything up to 60, every single character up to 60, and I'm just still will probably be extremely far at that point away from getting everybody up to 500 victories, which am I going to get 9 characters up to 500 victories? That's 4,500 wins. Just wins. I don't particularly buy that I will. Well, I could do it, just depends on how many years. How many years am I going to be playing this game? But if that's the only thing left, I could feel that in a year we could get every character up to 60. I cannot feel that even in 5 years we would be guaranteed to have everybody up to 500 victories. I'm kind of holding out, hoping that they will eventually lower that or get rid of it or something. But if that's all that's left to be done, is get 500 victories for everybody, then instead of doing that, I have the option in which I can go back and make some custom decks and try to beat all of the Nexramus bosses like I did in the review on Heroic. Now it doesn't give you cards, but it does give you card backs. One card back for getting all of them done, which is just a almost ridiculously insufficient reward for what is a ridiculously hard challenge. But if I have nothing else to do, then I guess I could do that. And so there is a reason at some point in the distant future to go back and play the Heroics again. But don't worry, you're not going to see it anytime soon. What would have to happen is we would have to get very far ahead. We'd have to have all of the things done, and we'd have to be all the way done with whatever next expansions has come out probably too at that point. Let's see. I kind of like these 50% chance to miss. So as you can see, I'm trying really desperate here to make a frozen style mage deck. And if you look at that histogram, boy is it a mess. But I think I just got some bad draws here. Wouldn't surprise me if this was a straight 3 losses. But I feel like I'm getting better. Either that or I'm just getting luckier.
Jaina versus Jaina.
Now, one question is, do they bother to match these people according to their rank? I kind of have a hard time believing that in arena runs they do match you by your rank. So this might be like a rank legendary #1 character guy who's playing a random deck just like me, but because he's so much higher in experience and skill, I could certainly see that's why I have some significant trouble with it.
Drink with me, friend.
I don't have enough mana.
What you want?
Hey, catch!
It's clobbering time.
Still trying to wake up. Not even that. I really don't even have that much of an excuse.
Oh my god! For the gnomes! Hey, catch!
I saw this article online that was different sleep schedules for people, and while there was one that kind of seems like it would be feasible, and that's the one where you sleep like 4 hours and then take a nap
For the gnomes!
8 hours later, and then so you'd sleep 4 hours a night and then take like a 3-hour nap somewhere around 5 in the afternoon. That one seems like it's probably the most feasible of all of them. The rest of them were things like sleep 2 hours, then 3 hours, then sleep 2 hours, then 3 hours, and sleep 2 hours, and then stay awake for 3 hours, and sleep 2 hours for 3 hours. And then it just got more and more ridiculous. I think there was one that was like every hour stay awake and then sleep for 20 minutes. And it's like, what kind of person who's doing anything with their life at all is gonna be capable of that's right, she gets the squelch. 2 hellos. I said hello. Even
Special delivery!
but yeah, what kind of person can do that? If you have like diagnosed narcolepsy, I guess you can do that. I guess you have to do it. It's not that you can, you have to. Ooh. But I think I've lost this game. Yeah, looks like 12 already on the board. But yeah.
To Northrend!
I suppose as a YouTube recorder, I could potentially do something like that, but it would be really, really disruptive. My personal experience as just a person who has insomnia. See, now this bar was already full, and it's just gonna keep filling up every time. Yeah, my experience as someone who has insomnia is too much trouble because I end up staying awake in the off hours, and then stores and people who might want to communicate me, doctors and appointments and
Jaina
just
versus Anduin.
government things if you need to go
Life shall bring victory.
go file your
You asked
taxes.
for
All
it.
that stuff does not stay open between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And that's when I'm having insomnia problems. That's when my schedule tends to push me to, is that yes, you will definitely be awake between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. and you will probably be asleep between 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., which is the whole time when most businesses are open, most restaurants are open, most everything is open. So to try and do
Is
a
someone
sleep
injured?
schedule where you have to be near a bed and ready to fall asleep, it sounds really silly. Like near a bed and ready to sleep every couple hours. Even doing YouTube, that seems ridiculous. I mean, maybe in some future society where no one has any need to do anything, that could be the case. But you're getting to the point where you're putting yourself in suspended animation. I hit the wrong one. That's a shame. I did that wrong.
I can taste the mana.
Me?
Yeah, I did all of that wrong.
Job's done.
Should have played this guy first. Should have played this guy on the healer, and then, man, I played poorly on that turn. Like I said, not awake, not awake. You will have already seen it if you've gone to my page on YouTube, but I have been doing some work on it, and so that will probably have appeared half a month to a month ago from your perspective. I'm so far ahead in recording it, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with potentially going even further.
Ah, what a rush.
And
Job's done.
I will put out emergency episodes if something changes, but particularly in Hearthstone, doubt anything will change in a month's time.
The void.
I doubt anything will have changed in the month between when I recorded this and when it was put out for you to see. It's probably not a month, it's probably closer to half a month.
What a rush.
But
Job's done.
I'm surprised I'm not more further ahead. I could certainly be more further ahead if I just, which is bad English, but if I just released less episodes. If I only did 3 episodes instead of 5 episodes of Hearthstone, a week.
Ah, what a rush.
Job's done.
Whenever you cast a spell, gain +2. Oh, I didn't realize Mana Addict only worked for that turn. That kind of sucks. I
He's
thought I
dying
was
for a
doing something a
Lenovo.
little bit better. And turns out I wasn't.
Fix anything.
But yes, I'm working on my channel, trying to learn the ins and outs of making a YouTube channel look better, getting more people notified about what videos are released. Everything at the moment is being scheduled to be released at 6 a.m. So that gives everybody an entire day at their leisure to watch the video. The only disadvantage I can see in doing 6 a.m. is that it just might not catch people's attention. If you're asleep, if you're busy at 6 a.m., which you probably are going to be busy if not asleep, you may not see that the video gets released. But, I mean, what can I do? I could do it at noon, and then I would disadvantage everybody that wanted to watch it on a potential commute in the morning, or anything like that. So I don't see a point of doing that. Next turn. If he doesn't play a card, that would be nice, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, everything's getting released at 6 a.m. That doesn't mean I am awake every morning at 6 a.m. releasing it. Everything is now scheduled. The only problem with schedule, and the reason why I didn't like doing it before, is it messes with the playlists. Before, you had a very nice playlist, or I had very nice playlists that went up to the newest video, and then in theory would go to the next playlist or suggest a different playlist, or
Job's done.
do something at least. But when you schedule things, it automatically puts the videos in the playlist, which makes no sense at all. So then you have, so all the playlists now are going to say the latest video is going to be somewhere in the middle, and then it's just going to say private video, private video, private video, private video, and just make it blatantly obvious that there's more already been recorded, already been uploaded. So in theory, I could just deluge you with videos if I wanted to, instead of trickling it out one a day. But I mean, how much free time do you have? If you have that much free time, I'd suggest going back and watching some of my old videos. I'm sure you haven't seen them all. At this point, at least 2 out of 3 of my shows have gone past 50 videos.
Forget things.
Yeah, I've lost this one too. So yeah, scheduling it just ruins the playlist, and it makes no logical sense at all. If you've scheduled a video on YouTube and you click the buttons that I have to manipulate the buttons just to put them on a playlist, because their solution is to disable playlist buttons when you click the schedule option. So I have to put them in a playlist as a private video and then turn around and change it from a private to a scheduled video. I mean, why can't you just put in your database when this time is achieved and it's released, put those at that point in the playlist? I don't know why YouTube can't figure that out, but it honestly sometimes feels like only 2 or 3 people work at YouTube. Anyways, so yeah, scheduling ruins the playlists. Sorry about that. If you're watching a playlist, it will just end abruptly and go, this video is private. That's not what I'd want. Ideally, what I'd want is the playlist to end or at the newest thing, because then it will suggest another playlist, or it can go back and start the playlist again if somebody just wants to make like a video loop for a party or something. I don't know why you would do that with my videos, but I would like to give you the option if I could. The only playlist where that will kind of work is the spotlights playlist because I'm not gonna hold spotlights in
You asked for
reserve
it.
more than likely. I might, but it's not probably gonna happen. And so, on top of that work, I'm also working on making a introductory video talking about the channel, something that will become a
Job's done.
channel update video, and you'll probably see it if you go to the YouTube. If you get to my page on YouTube, it'll be like an introductory video pushing people to subscribe, pushing people to help to watch and understand what this
Job's
channel
done.
is. Obviously, looking at the analytics, a lot of people get on this channel, get on my videos, and don't understand what they are or just aren't interested in them, because there's lots of drop off, and there's never going to be a situation, and I already know it, where there isn't a lot of drop off. It's just I need to get more fans on, so it's not looking like it's 100% drop off as it kind of is
We must cleanse the
looking
Sunwell.
now. We need more people who are actually fans, who actually do want to see and listen to me and see my videos, actually watch the videos out of support, out of interest, to balance out all the people, the random people that will just always be there. There will always be random people that show up.
What you want?
Push forward.
So, yes, that's what I'll be working on later today. Of course, that video will get published a lot earlier than this video will, but at least you'll hear me talk about it. And I'm gonna try and do some experiments and put a lot of, well, not a ton of extra work in it, but a little bit of extra work in it. So it is going to be more polished. It's not going to be just me talking over video games. It's going to be me talking over my logo with maybe, depending how I get it to work, some other stuff. It's only going to be 4 minutes long, which, how in the world am I going to make a video that is only 4 minutes long? You want to talk about the potential scariest part of it?
Push
That's
forward.
it right there. It's just like, how am I supposed to make something that's 4 minutes long? 4 minutes is a suggestion by YouTube. It's not a requirement or anything.
Give me a quest.
Shields up. Red alert.
Alright, let's see. If we do this, how much damage does this do? 4?
Push forward.
Job's done.
It looks like I've got this in the bag. Really, I mean,
Something needs tinkering?
I need 6 for that. see, do this to that, and then I fire blast to that. Alright. This will leave me with 5.
Someday I'll be just like you!
So this will work. Didn't work as much as I would have liked it to,
Job's
but
done.
it did work. 11 to 30, I might actually get a victory here. I certainly want to do like channel updates and more. I will have to do a channel update after at least after one of these series is done. Oh, I'm just done playing it for a while. I'll have to do a channel update at that point. I would love for that to be the time to answer questions and comments, any messages I've got. If you're having trouble contacting me, I don't know why. There's been, you can put comments on every single video. I have not disabled comments. You can contact me through the Google Plus page. Just private message me through that. That's under the description if you can't find it. I'm releasing to my Twitter account video releases now. So at Rydo of all is the @ sign, then RYDOOFALL. That is the secondary name I use when somebody has already used this Rydo. Maybe I should have used my spell ability to hit his face. I don't think that's gonna work.
Reporting for duty.
So you could certainly contact me through Google Plus. You can contact me through Twitter. I'm not at the moment planning to be specifically on Twitter that much. But
Where am I?
but I'll eventually see those messages. I should. I don't know. I'm not a big user of Twitter because it seems just a little weird. So I don't want to see people's 140 character or less posts filled with hashtags and all this kind of meta game of trying to game the system. So I'm just doing Twitter as a convenience to as many of my viewers as possible. If that's how they want to get updated that a new video is out, you really don't even need to be that updated. I'm probably going to be one of the most consistent releasers of videos. If I can release a video, if I can schedule a video, it's just Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. There should be a video there. It shouldn't be that. Shouldn't ever not be that case. Hey, I won! Great. I got lucky there. Got lucky there. There is something slightly satisfying in watching the bar fill up from 0 to full, but it's really a poor reward. A bad reward for getting all the way to 60. I mean, it didn't really do anything for me at all.
Jaina versus Jaina.
You asked for it. My magic will tear you apart.
I could certainly use more questions if somebody has questions. If you just want to ask me general questions, that's fine. Any prompts will be good prompts. As long as they're not like, why are you such a loser type questions. Because if I knew the answer to that, well, I probably would have fixed it by now.
What you want?
But general questions, what do you think is going on? I'll go research it. If you want to ask me really difficult questions, I'll either make up a BS answer or look up the right answer.
For Nomriga!
Time for killing.
For the gnome!
Want help on your homework? Well, you'll get the answers probably months and months later after the homework was due, so I wouldn't recommend those questions.
For the gnomes!
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
For the gnomes!
So next turn I could probably bring out this clockwork guy. If he just plays one card. That would be an interesting variant. I don't know how well it would really work in this game. But if you were to do like a special rules variant
For the gnomes!
where it's like no mana, you just can only play one card per turn. I mean, that would be a little interesting. Might be really slow though. Because if you play just one creature and it attacks and kills, and then he plays one creature and it defends, it would be strange. It would take some thinking. I don't know how well the cards in this game in particular would stand up to a rule change that drastic. To just throw out the mana thing and play one card at a time.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Sometimes I forget things.
There we go, 5 damage
Job's done.
to the face. That's why this guy's a pretty good guy. 4 mana to give a +1 spell damage to 2 other characters. It's pretty good. Lost Tail Strider. Four damage if you have a mech. I don't think it's really a desperate enough situation that you need to kill a mech as soon as you see a mech though. Even though there are a lot of cards that say if you have a mech do this, if you have a mech do that. It's not like it's if you have a mech you win the game.
I wonder.
So I guess that's a little bit better balanced than you might originally think. So let's put this here. Okay, that's duplicate. So if I put this guy out, and we put this guy out.
Job done.
See, only in a world where you don't know germs exist does the concept of a communal well make sense. Uh, Usually they would have a big old ladle right there that you could just go up and drink out of, too. So it's not even like germs. They didn't even understand like backwash as a concept. They didn't even think of like spit as being a problem, or like bird poop as a bird's flying by sitting on the perch. Germophobia is definitely a new disease because you would certainly not have survived very long in an older time being germophobic. And because you wouldn't even know what it was, it's like people would just go, "What's wrong with this person? He's always trying to wash his hands and always feeling like he's dirty." It's... Another interesting concept about old times. If you're probably aware of like American Idol and those singing shows, and I was watching one, just flipping the channels, and what's interested me about that is that on the face of it, it seems like there are just more and more people who can sing well and are much better than the few greats that were in the past. And you could originally just assume that's because they're getting noticed more often because they can go to these competitions, they can put their singing on YouTube and such. But there's actually even more to it than that. What a bad draw. The fact is, well, I was asking my grandfather when like he would have first heard music, and the truth is he would have been well into his 30s if not 40s before he heard any music on like a radio or a vinyl or anything like that, because he just didn't own any of those things. He grew up on a farm sharecropping, and the only music he would have heard is with the music that they sang in church, and that would have been it. And so there wouldn't have even been that much opportunity for him to hear music to practice or become better at it. So it does make sense that now that people have more exposure to music, they can become better at it. Alright, so as we implemented before, we are implementing a policy of getting rid of gold things. Now, I don't think I can get rid of that. If we see any gold cards, we want to get rid of them and take the dust from those and make regular classic deck cards, preferably neutral ones. We're just trying to unlock it. We're working off the thought that if we can unlock it, in a sense, by creating one, we will get it in packs when we buy a pack, which we may buy a pack at the end of this episode. That's not beyond the realm of possibility. Alright, we have 60 dust. Let's look in the neutral and see if we can find a non-Goblins vs. Gnomes card to make. Here's a classic card. See, it says classic here, it's a common, cost 40. We'll make it, have one of them. Now, hopefully we'll get the second one more often, and as we get the second ones, we will, as we get the third ones, we'll be able to disenchant it. No gold cards. We didn't get any gold cards. Gold cards are rare. Here is a great example of if we had 100 things, we could turn that into dust, and then we could disenchant this for 100. So why do I keep this card? I don't know. We did have a gold thing. So we're just getting rid of gold cards completely. We don't want to even have them in our deck, just out of ease of simplicity. Now, does that mean we'll have no gold cards at all? No, because when we start including soulbound cards, we do have things like this, and can't disenchant soulbound cards, which is a shame. At this point, I would get rid of the regular versions if you can't do that. See, that's the flip side of this coin. As you level up your characters and you get all of these soulbound regular cards and then soulbound gold versions of cards, well, if they were like the other cards, I could go back and disenchant these regular ones and have 2 gold ones. And I think when you hit level 60, they should probably do that for you and just say, or be more generous than that. Say, here's a big old pile of dust for all the stuff you've done. But they don't. You hit level 60 and it's nothing. It's literally nothing. And I know that 60 isn't going to be the end all the time. Let's play one more mage game, just for simplicity's sake. We are at rank 19. That was my offline play. That is fun. We got 1 victory. We need to get 4 more. Wow. We may end this series. I shouldn't speculate. I really shouldn't, but I mean, we may not get all the quests done, and I think we're gonna be okay with that from now on. Is it worth it to do another 4th episode just to try to grind it out? I don't know if it really is. Seems like a silly use for a coin, just to hit him in the face. But you only get to use this so many times. Ideally, you'd want to be able to use the Fire Blast every single turn, but you really can't do that. Not if you want to play any cards. Because that means you need to use the coin the first time if you have it, use it the second time and then accomplish nothing else, and then have a 1 mana summoned creature the third time, 2 mana summon creature the fourth time, and you'd be so far behind whatever your opponent was doing that it wouldn't be worth it.
Handle it!
Alright, so I'm gonna be upset if this is like explosive trap.
Job done. My apologies.
Sure called that one. Whatever. First 4 turns are mostly just stall tactics anyways. Just throw out Fugan.
You to master.
Yeah, I wish I could just live stream. I guess in theory I could live stream Hearthstone in particular, and that's something that will certainly be on the table once I have more followers, more subscribers. If there's, I would say even 30 or 40 people who are very devoted and would actually show up on a live stream, if they can, I could see doing that, but the point in my mind of doing something like that would be to allow people to chat, to try and get donations and to go for a very long time. And I will have to work on myself to be able to go that far, because I need to take breaks still at the moment. I mean, it burns out my voice. I've gotten better about not going too long and causing that to happen, but yeah. So to do a live stream, to sit there and say I'm gonna be able to go for hours and hours and hours.
Are you ready for this? Master! Job's done.
That is something that will come in the future. It's just a matter, if you want that to happen, I would recommend sharing, getting all your friends and everyone you know to subscribe to me and become fans of me, so that there's more of a community there. I would ask everybody to do that anyways, because that's certainly gonna help me out.
I'm not ready.
I know how a lot of that goes. That you have something you're passionate about or you like, and you show it to your friends, and then all of a sudden, and they're not as into it as you are. Particularly as you get older, you realize that's often the case. Is that they'll often be wrapped up in their own lives, and you'll have no interest in what they're doing just as much as they'll have no interest in what you're doing. And that's understandable, you just have to kind of accept it. Alright, so let's do this one first. was able to survive another turn, but I don't think I'm gonna survive for very much longer.
Job's done.
I would love if people could get back to me on commercials and advertisements. I'm not seeing any advertisements when I go back and try and hit and watch any of my shows. I don't know if that's because it knows that I'm watching my own video or what, but
I am master of
Uh,
magic.
Behold the might of Storm.
I don't know, maybe it's just there's not enough subscribers, maybe there's just not enough viewers for anybody to even, for YouTube to even bother putting commercials in front of it. Please make an exception and disable your ad blocker if you have one when watching my shows. You're not screwing over a large corporation that has millions of dollars when you are watching blocking ads for watching my channel. You're screwing over a person, just an individual with, like, it's just one person. That's it. Just me. I don't have any assistance. I don't have any corporate backing. I'm not some secret shill for anything, even though sometimes I do talk about products. So yes, please turn off ad blockers. Please watch the commercials. Please don't skip the ad. That probably hurts me too. I don't even know if it really does or not. I assume it does. But
I am master of magics.
that's the free thing you can do, is just let that ad play. And the free thing you can do to support me. I need lots and lots of people to view it. I think it's somewhere around 1,000 views to a penny, if I've heard correctly. So
Behold the might of Storm. Job's done.
every single one counts. If you really want to support me, go back and watch episodes again. Go back and thumbs up them. Go back and comment on them. If you would like me to support you, send me a message and we might even be able to. I'll go watch your shows if I can bear them. I mean, I can't guarantee I'm gonna go watch something that I just find absolutely repulsive, but if you watch my shows and I can see that you watch my shows, I might go watch your shows, just tit for tat. So I had to play that way or I would have been game over. All he has to do is pull this and he'll have won. So I don't know why he hasn't won in the... He's letting me win.
Behold the might of Storm win.
That's cool and all, but it's not really cool either to just let me win. Hero is immune while attacking. Gladiator's longbow. I don't know if he just forgot he had this ability or what, but he should have won like 3 turns ago using that, and he didn't. Oh well. Not really my problem. Alright, so let's wrap up this episode. Go ahead and purchase another arena for next time so we can get a better view of where we're at. We have just 70 gold and we made very, very little progress on the hunter mage domination thing. I'm not sure we're gonna make it. I'm not sure we're gonna make it. Next episode we will be doing priest and warlock ranked runs and working on these two quests. So hopefully we'll be able to make that. I would hate to end a recording session and have three different quests not finished. That would be pretty bad. That calls for overtime for sure. But that's it for this episode. Thanks for sticking it out. No more complaining about YouTube and potentially is this the end hysteria, which all of that was hysteria. After I slept on it, after I thought about it, after the problem just went away by itself. I mean, I've learned my lesson. No more hysteria. Thanks for watching. Try to do your best to support me. I really do need the support. To support me, as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of the video. All that helps out. Have a good evening.